Education and partnering in the community. That's a focus this week as we discuss a distinguished career for this man.
What distinguishes St. Johns County is that this is a community that supports their public school system. And I think that, if not the most essential thing, I think it's critical.
We dive into the future for Dr. Joseph Joyner as he moves from the county school district to the county's higher education system at Flagler College. Plus, dolphins displaying their beauty in the community. Jacksonville University launches a new effort that springboards from the long-range plan of the college. President Tim Cost explains the JU way to healthcare science on This Week in Jacksonville. And so glad that you joined us on this Sunday morning. You know, in St. Johns County, the school board has approved the new superintendent's contract and finalized zone changes for several overcrowded schools. That makes for some big mid-year changes for a number of students.
The education is amazing. The schools are staying, A-rated schools.
Sonia Carroll isn't the only St. Johns County parent who feels that way. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the county has seen more than 20% growth since 2010, and the student population is at an all-time high with a 5.4% growth increase just this year.
We have been the fastest growing school district percentage-wise in the state of Florida for over 10 years.
St. Johns County School Superintendent Dr. Joseph Joyner says they love the growth, but it also brings challenges.
We're at the position right now where we have to rent relocatable classrooms.
To help, a new elementary school will open in World Golf Village in time for the 2017-18 school year.
We expect elementary M to open on time and under budget.
And the district plans to expand Nice High School, one of the county's fastest growing high schools.
And it's going to expand our capacity so that we can meet the needs of these additional students.
So on a related subject, outgoing Superintendent Joyner that you just heard there says that he applauds the board for the half-cent sales tax referendum that was passed by voters. He says that $13 million extra dollars that the higher tax is going to bring in each year is going to help the school district keep up with the county's remarkable growth. And so we are speaking with Dr. Joyner this morning, our guest in his last month, as I understand it, as superintendent of schools in St. Johns County. And Tim Forson is with us. He's been named to replace Dr. Joyner. So thank you very much. I know that we've gotten to know each other over the years serving on nonprofits there in St. Johns County. So I appreciate the service at this time as we say goodbye to that role and talk about your new role and continuing service. So Tim Forson, why don't you explain to us, what's this mean to you? You're coming out of retirement, really, to become the superintendent here.
It is. It's an incredible opportunity for me. I'm someone from this community and grew up here, have raised my family here. My children are all adults now. Worked in the public education system all my life. And so for me, it's just a tremendous opportunity. And I'm really humbled to be in the position to have an opportunity to lead and influence the school district as we go forward.
And Tim, it sounds like the choice for folks in choosing a new superintendent was between having a change agent, somebody come in from outside the district, or having somebody kind of continue the legacy built over here. Dr. Joyner, there's been a lot of sustained success in St. Johns County. Why is that? And then how do you keep that success happening?
Well, I think it starts with the board. I think our board is focused on the students. They focus on children. They make decisions on children. They work well as a team. And so for superintendent, you get clear direction on which way to go, and that focus is always on the students. And then we prioritize, it's children first always in all our decision making. And then, of course, we focus on high quality teaching and instruction, getting the very best teachers in the classroom we have. Focus on outstanding parent support. When you put all those things together, I think you have a successful school system, and we've been blessed to have that over the years.
Yeah, Tim Forson, how do you continue that? How do you sustain what's happened? Because we just talked about some challenges there. Growth is good, but then where do you put all the kids in a new school? Those sorts of things.
Well, and I think one of the first keys is those expectations just mentioned don't change. And the expectations for high quality teaching and commitment to children is most important. I think the challenges as we go forward is to continue to think ahead, plan well ahead, and be prepared for growth. Make sure that seats are provided for children as they come forward and come into the system.
Yeah, is it tough to make some of those decisions? I would imagine. You've got to look at where in the county the growth is happening. I think this week we even heard that, okay, we're expanding at Nice High School. Well, Nice High School isn't brand new, but there are a lot of brand new families in that Nocatee area.
It is, and I think what we see sometimes is a shift in that growth from year to year. And so you have to look at 3- and 5-year segments and make sure that you know that as you build that school or as you expand that school, that it's going to serve the community well for a period of time.
So, Tim, I'm going to give your voice a little break there because I know you're gutting it out just to be with us, being under the weather. But, Dr. Jordan, I want to talk about this next step for you. Retiring as superintendent also means an opportunity for you at Flagler College. You've been named to become their president. Tell me about that and why that's an important thing for you at this stage of life and career.
Well, you know, I didn't really have any plans. I knew that I still had a lot of energy and passion, particularly in education, so I was looking at different opportunities. Quite frankly, I was out looking at boats and deciding what I was going to do. Yes, it was. I was thinking about what I was going to do the rest of my life, and you know, I had explored different opportunities, and I found out that Dr. Aber had made the decision to retire at the end of this year, and he had been there for 45 years and 17 years as president, and I had been trustee at Flagler College for about 3 years, and I just fell in love with the place. Just the students, their value system, what they prioritize. You know, they focus on students first. That's their #1 value.
Sounds familiar.
And secondly, on the teaching learning process and the relationships between the professors and the faculty and the students. And so, you know, that's right in my wheelhouse. And those are things that I love. And the more I got to know the students there and the faculty and some of the staff, I just fell in love with it and decided to put my name in the hat.
Yeah, and worked out. The final applicant to survive after, I guess, 171 applicants, 9 interviews, and it's good to hear what
I'm as shocked as you are.
We're not shocked at all. It is interesting, though. Bill Aber and Bill Proctor were the presidents previously, so they decided no Bill, they need a Joe.
Yeah.
Last thing for you, we saw that geography can be a challenge there during Hurricane Matthew. We saw a video of flooding there on campus, and it seems like you're maybe landlocked if you want to do some growth there for the college. What are your thoughts on that, and how do you move forward there?
Well, it's a blessing and it's a challenge. I think obviously one of the highlights of Flagler College is the facility. I mean, there's no place in America like it, and but it is what it is, and you do have the facilities as a continuing challenge, not in space, but also in renovation. Those are very old buildings, and my predecessors have done a fantastic job of renovation, keeping those facilities up. You know, they're a treasure for the state of Florida, and they've treated it that way. And so, but as you expand, you are landlocked with where you are, and basically downtown St. Augustine. So that presents a challenge for the future. And as you upgrade classrooms, it's just like what Tim mentioned with the school district. Planning is critical. Yeah. You know, strategic planning, looking 3, 4, 5 years out. What are we going to become? How can we meet this need? How do we grow? How do we continue to get better at Flagler College? And so that's going to be key in the future.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Obviously, they asked some of those key strategic thoughts that you had before they decided that you'd be president. We appreciate your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Not just on the new job, but the job you've done in St. Johns County.
I'm honored.
Congratulations on the promotion.
Thank you.
All right. Well, the man given credit for asking the right questions and raising expectations on campus, JU President Tim Cost. He joins us next on This Week in Jacksonville.
Right now at Men's Warehouse, it's buy one, get one free on great gift ideas. Non-iron dress shirts and sport shirts, 3 for $99.99. And take 60% off all sweaters. Plus, designer suits are only $199.99. Happy holidays from Men's Warehouse.
Lease the Infiniti QX60 for $409 a month. Visit your local Infiniti retailer.
Our prices are low and staying low at Harvey's. Prices way down, right down to the ground, because we're low and staying low. Right now at Harvey's, fresh ground beef value packs are just $1.58 a pound with card. And sweet potatoes just 38 cents a pound with card through December 20th while supplies last. See store for details. Harvey's, great prices, great service. That's a promise.
It's what everyone's after, the new 2017 Nissan Rogue. With intelligent forward emergency braking that could stop your car for you. Get to Nissan's Go Rogue year-end event for year-end savings on Rogue and the rest of the Nissan lineup. Take on any Galaxy. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, in theaters December 16th. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 11 models. Or get a low $189 per month lease on Rogue.
What makes a great custom suit? Fabric sourced from the finest Italian mills, details hand-picked by you, and made right here in America in just 3 weeks. I'm Joseph Aboud. This is my custom suit. Now available at Men's Warehouse.
I-Team investigations that get results. Baby Liberty ripped from her home, given to a convicted criminal. Then the I-Team took action, going straight to lawmakers. Now, change at the highest levels that will protect kids around the state. Investigations that make a difference. That's one reason why you made News 4 Jax #1 in the morning, evening, and night. You're watching This Week in Jacksonville with Kent Justice.
Thanks for staying with us. Two guests from Jacksonville University this morning, President Tim Cost and Dr. Christine Sapienza. So brand new announcement this week about the JU Dolphin Point Partnership, which, as I understand it, includes a new facility coming. President Cost, tell us what this is.
Sure, and thanks for having us. What's happening over there on campus, on the north end of our campus, we're developing out a partnership between an independent organization from Ohio, which does nursing homes for a living, and the Brooks Rehabilitation College of Healthcare Sciences at Jacksonville University. And Dr. Sapienza runs that. The idea was, could you pair a skilled nursing facility, a graduated care facility, with the healthcare education that we're doing on campus to the benefit of both the elderly who are there and the students who are being taught. We're really excited about it.
Yeah, so this is a big economic announcement for Arlington. It sounds like a big educational opportunity as well. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, most definitely. It's very unusual when you can put a community of older individuals right next door to a university of young individuals. So it's one thing to have these types of graduated retirement communities, maybe at the beach or some other location in Jacksonville, but right next door, proximal to it, it gives us an ideal opportunity to have an intermix of generations across the age spectrum.
So your background, as we were talking, includes several years at University of Florida, but here at Jacksonville University, the last 3 years or so as Dean of the College of Healthcare Sciences. How does this meet a need in our region, and how does it change things in terms of education in our region?
Yeah, I think it has actually two possibilities. One is there's a healthcare need regionally. We've been doing that for the last 3 years. A part of the reason I was brought on board by Tim was to develop out healthcare sciences. So there's a large gap in the shortage that we have for nurses. We need speech pathologists, mental health counselors, et cetera. So we've been doing that. But by putting Dolphin Point Community near Jacksonville University, now what we have created is unique on-site trainings for these students. So it fills two gaps. It gives us more places to put our students to train in unique environments. And number two, it creates another community for older individuals. We all know that Florida is a great place for people to retire.
Yeah, there are a lot of folks retiring here because it's such a great place to be.
Right.
Jacksonville University, you've made a great place to be on top of the reputation that was already there before you started a few years ago as president. You enjoyed it as a student as well. What does it mean to make that kind of partnership and investment in Arlington? Arlington in this area that that needs that kind of life and growth, doesn't it?
Sure. Arlington, I mean, we all know back in the 70s when I was a student there and graduated in the early 80s, one of the really hot places to be. And went away to my career, came back in 2013, and needless to say, Arlington had changed. We are blessed with 250 gorgeous acres on the St. Johns River, and students come from 50 states and 38 foreign countries to go to that university, and they don't think of Arlington, they think of Jacksonville, Florida. And so what we decided, we're going to dig in Arlington. We love Arlington. We're going to invest in Arlington. We're also going to add some classes that we're teaching downtown that we're very excited about. But the Arlington campus is filling up, and the work that Dr. Sapienza and her team are doing has filled 2 entire buildings, which are both relatively new. One we just opened in 2014, so it's a nice problem to have that there's growth going on in the healthcare sciences. But I think in terms of an economic shot in the arm to Arlington, you're talking about 8 figures of investment by multiple organizations in a place with long-term, full-time healthcare jobs. We're excited.
So who are the partners involved, and then how are those responsibilities or contributions parceled out?
Sure. There's 2 kinds of partners here. One, there's partners we're working on to actually build out the location. So Nelson Holdings is a group from Greg Nelson, who's a graduate of Jacksonville University, been affiliated with the school since 1968, played basketball with Artis Gilmore. So Greg Nelson is a known quantity, a former board member, someone who loves the university. He bought up all that land, and he's developing it now. He's a nursing home developer. So there's a partnership between Jacksonville University and Nelson Holdings. Then there's a set of partnerships we haven't announced yet that I think will be exciting that Dr. Sapienza is putting together with healthcare providers, insurers, the whole provision of care, every type of, when she talks about speech pathology, kinesiology, mental health counseling, occupational therapy, orthodontia, right on through to nursing, she's creating those partnerships that are going to be part of our physical portion of this that we're going to be talking about next year. But those are 2 kind of partners that are involved.
And those extra partners, I hear, are extra opportunities for the folks that you want to train and probably inspire a little bit. So, Dr. Sapienza, I want you to weigh in on this also. But before we go, I know that there's a big milestone coming up for Jacksonville University in May. I want to show you some video from last May. Dr. Fran Kinney, JU's Chancellor Emeritus. She's known for being JU's first female dean of the College of Fine Arts, and then she was the university's first woman president. So, less than a year ago, you're celebrating birthday number 99.
Right.
So 100 is coming up. And President Cost, I read on your bio that you've talked about what an inspiration she was and has developed some leadership things that you've pulled out. What does this mean to each of you and the university that we got such a special woman associated with the Dolphins?
Sure. I mean, Fran Kinney was the president when I was a student. She tells stories about remembering either seeing me play as a ball player or remembering my graduation, which I thought couldn't be true until she made a reference to something that happened, and my wife, who was then my girlfriend, turned and said, absolutely true.
That was true.
So May 23rd, 2017, Dr. Kinney, who's Chancellor Emerita now, will turn 100. We have lots of plans in the works. We're calling it the Century of Kinney. She was at the event this week when we announced the Dolphin Point landing. She just was the commencement speaker at something I invited her to, the oldest in the history of American universities at 99. She's brilliant. She's inspirational. I think she taught us all servant leadership before we knew what it meant.
Yeah, what kind of impact has she made on you in these couple of years you've known her?
One of the best people I've met since I've come to JU. I mean, she's a mentor. She's a female role model for me. I think if I can do anything with my team is to maintain that legacy that she started at JU. She was actually responsible for the start of the School of Nursing. She was integral in bringing Mayo here from Rochester, Minneapolis. So I think Fran is really attuned to what is going on in healthcare and finds it special that we're continuing her legacy.
Yeah, she's magnetic and wonderful. So you're wonderful for being here with us. Thanks for explaining this. We're excited about what's going on at JU.
Thank you. Maybe we'll be back with Fran on her 100th.
I'm for it. Absolutely. Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, coming up, State Senator Aaron Bean. He represents Nassau and Duval counties. His view on the changing landscape in Tallahassee. That's next on This Week in Jacksonville.
If you've become disabled, it's important to call Harrell & Harrell because we have Social Security disability lawyers who have helped thousands of people navigate the government and what you need to do in that process.
Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's what everyone's after. The new 2017 Nissan Rogue. With intelligent forward emergency braking that could stop your car for you. Get to Nissan's Go Rogue year-end event for year-end savings on Rogue and the rest of the Nissan lineup. Take on any Galaxy. Rogue One, a Star Wars story. In theaters December 16th. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 11 models. Or get a low $189 per month lease on Rogue.
Turn pizza night into family dinner night with Papa Murphy's new $5 Faves value menu. For just $5 each, add a fresh garden salad, scratch-made 5-cheese bread, a $5 Faves pizza, or chocolate chip cookie dough, just $5. It's a real value.
2 more bites.
And real leverage. Finish your dinner with Papa Murphy's new $5 Faves value menu. Order online at papamurphys.com. Love at $5 each.
This is Pastor R.J. Washington of the Titus Harvest Dome. Join us on Channel 4 every Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m. We're going to have a God time. Yes.
Geico Motorcycle. Great rates for great rides.
The most magical time of the year is also the perfect time to take home a new Honda, KBB.com's best value brand. Hurry into the Happy Honda Day sales event and discover the Pilot, CR-V, and new Ridgeline. Right now at your Honda dealer.
Get ready for the 2017 Gate River Run, Jacksonville's premier running event. If you're a competitive runner or just run for fun, there's an event for you. Register for the 15K, 5K, or 1-mile event. Then join Channel 4 on March 11th at the Jacksonville Sports Complex. Get all the details at GateRiverRun15K.com.
Parents used to wonder, what age should we give the kids the car keys? Now it's all about the smartphone.
Isn't that the truth? The average age is 10 years old. How to tell if your child is ready? Monday.
The Morning Show on Channel 4 makes mornings happen.
And our final segment this morning on This Week in Jacksonville, and we welcome back State Senator Aaron Bean. He is here to talk with us a little bit about what's coming up in Tallahassee in the new year. Let's talk about what happened this week. Just Friday, a change to the Supreme Court announced. Tell me about your thoughts here, and maybe we'll go into who this pick is. But it's a big deal when the governor gets to make an announcement like this.
Absolutely. First of all, good morning, Kent. Always a pleasure to be with you on This Week. Yes, the governor exercised his authority to shape the court, made a selection. A constitutionalist, I guess you could say, somebody that he was looking for somebody that would just look at the Constitution and interpret it that way, which is what all conservatives want. There were 3 finalists, and although I'm happy with his selection, and I think it's going to be approved, very quickly by the Florida Senate. The one that wasn't selected, Wendy Berger from the First Coast, she's a judge on the District Court of Appeals, lives in St. Augustine. Would have been fantastic to have somebody from the First Coast represented.
And Judge Berger, even younger than Judge Lawson, who was selected here and also working at 5th District Court of Appeals. So she maybe has a chance in the future, because there may be some more Supreme Court justice vacancies here, even in Governor Scott's term, right?
I think so. I think so. And Judge Lawson is 55 years old. He'll have the chance to be there for some time. Our state law says that when you turn 70, it's time to let somebody else have that seat, and that's just what happened here. And I think we'll have that other opportunity. Don't count her out. Wendy Berger, we'll hear from her again. She's got a bright future, and hopefully she'll be considered in the future.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the changes, both in the House and Senate, especially when we talk not just the state picture, but the Duval delegation. We know there's been a change in the Senate. I guess maybe even half of the Senate has changed when we look at the state makeup,
20
right?
out of 40. 40 total senators, 20 are brand new to the Florida Senate.
So that makes you the veteran. You've been there since 2012.
Right, exactly. Well, hopefully, we were aiming for this, aiming to be in a position where we can benefit Jacksonville and direct resources. And let's be honest. I mean, I'm there to work for Jacksonville and North Florida, and I think we'll have a better chance of doing it going forward.
In the House, I know 5 of the 6 House members from the Duval delegation are brand new. So let's talk about maybe how that works. Obviously, the House and Senate are separate, but you have to work together. And what's new for you this term? New committees or assignments like that?
A lot of new things, Kent Justice. First of all, about our delegation, you know, we formed a couple of years ago the First Coast delegation to really have strength in numbers. So Duval delegation, when we reorganized and a few years ago, it became much smaller with the Fairer Districts Amendment, where districts were drawn much, much smaller. So our delegation shrunk, and that was the time where we reached out and grabbed 9 surrounding counties of Jacksonville, and it really beefed up our numbers. There's an actual organization, the First Coast delegation, where there's much more coordination. Where we can't win through numbers alone, we can coordinate and compete as a region, I think. And I think we've had some successes already. I think we're going to have some successes going forward. So, world for Aaron Bean, as well as the Florida Senate.
A little different this term.
Totally different. I had been the last 4 years in healthcare. I was chairman of the healthcare policy. No more. No more. A new assignment for me is criminal justice appropriation. So everything criminal justice, from the Department of Corrections to our court system, public defenders, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, our state attorneys, the Department of Juvenile Justice, and others will come under my committee's purview that will be analyzing and how we can best utilize state resources to fund these agencies.
You know, Rob Bradley from Clay County had been part of the criminal, the Judiciary Committee, is that what it's called?
Right, criminal justice.
Criminal justice.
4 years ago, he was a part of that.
Yeah, and his attorney background probably lent into that. Is it a challenge for you, having healthcare as your background instead?
Well, I'm also a banker, a banker at heart, and that's where banker. So appropriating money does not, it's going to be a challenge because there's never enough money. There's never enough money, and you have to prioritize. Everybody's underpaid. Everybody has new projects. Everybody needs their buildings rehabbed, and so, but there's not enough money to do it all. So we have to prioritize and look at how we can keep Floridians safe and have these agencies do what they do.
Well, Senator Bean, we know that prioritizing where the money goes is a big part of the legislative session that begins in March. And we know you guys are working, getting geared up for that already. We appreciate the time this morning. Thank you, sir.
Kent Justice, always a pleasure.
Thanks. Well, This Week in Jacksonville airs each Sunday morning at this time. We want you to enjoy the holidays, so I'll tell you what, we're taking the next 2 Sundays off. We will not have a show for you on Channel 4 or online on Christmas or on New Year's. So, again, enjoy time with your family this holiday season. Also, remember, you can always find episodes online on newsforjax.com/politics. Thanks for watching.
At News 4 Jax, we're always covering the news, even when we're not on TV. Stay informed, on the go, and online at news4jax.com.